Welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody is doing well, enjoying the bumps that we've had recently. Thank you for joining. Let's start right with the charts. So we'll start with the macro and move down. This is the S&P, and I'm going to jump right in. We've had this measured move. You had this M or just lower highs down here. This is the daily chart, of course. You see I have this measured move all the way down here. This is healthy. Let's see if the retest works out. No bullish divergence or bearish divergences on the daily. Let's check out the weekly. Not much to see there. Everything looks fine. So it seems like overall the market, this is the S&P, so it needs to correct a little bit. That has already played out on the daily, this measured move. So a little bit more downside. We are now at the resistance actually, or still finding support. So this hasn't broken down yet. Excuse me for that. Let's go to the dollar and see what's going on with the dollar. Just hiding the Ishimoku cloud because it's not valid for the Forex. Still in this downtrend. We had these, I think there were bullish divergences down there, but the dollar showing some strength. Let's see if this is something interesting. There's not much to say here. We're finding support on the conversion line. The conversion line on the Ishimoku is the taking into account 30 bars back, 30 candlesticks backs, and taking the highest high and the lowest low and dividing it by 2. So the sum of the highest high added to the lowest low and divided by 2. So we're technically on support there. Although this crypto Ishimoku cloud is a lot slower than the Forex one, because Forex moves a lot faster than or crypto moves a lot faster than Forex, so you don't want to get signals, false signals for crypto. We had bullish divergences down here actually for the dollar. So we can see a strong reversal now. A little bit of a bounce there. Let's check out the weekly. We're finding support on the Ichimoku cloud right now. Let's see how it reacts to these resistance lines above it now. So the dollar, a little bit of strength. Let's see what it's doing versus the Forex currencies. A rejection there at the cloud for the euro. So this is Bitstamp. Let's rather look at Forex pairs. Yeah, a rejection at the cloud. You might want to see a retest. Markets don't like bottoming off of V-bottoms. So a retest of these levels down here will be very healthy, just exactly at the $1 area. When the dollar shows a little bit of strength, you would expect the risk assets, including cryptocurrency, to be under a little bit of pressure, and the altcoins being a leveraged position on Bitcoin, you would probably see them suffer a little bit more. The dominance. Do I have the dominance up here? Okay, let's just go here. So this is BTC divided by the total market cap. The total market cap minus the USDC and USDT. So the stable coins taken out of the equation. You could probably multiply this with 100. So you can get a percentage and not a... So there we go, at 48% of the market cap. Now this is without the stable coins, right? So this is exclusively the altcoins, because it's important to take out the altcoins or the stable coins, excuse me. Technically still in a very aggressive uptrend. Have we broken these? No, so the RSI is pretty low. Have we got no bullish divergence here? So it seems like just a little bit more consolidation for the altcoins. Some of them will run, some of them will come down, we should probably take a look at crypto bubbles to see what the major altcoins has been doing, because this is on the monthly. We'll just see what the larger ones are doing, as pretty much we've got correction across the board right now, and Hex is not excluded in all of these that's run pretty hard and now correcting. This will be pretty healthy corrections, and we've pretty much all been waiting for this to happen. So that was the altcoins. It's not really clear what is happening here. Let's see what happens when we on the RSI meet this red moving average coming across, and maybe we get a rejection there so we can get a clear image of what is going on here. Until that happens, we're still pretty much consolidating. We're still in a parabola or an uptrend for Bitcoin dominance, which just means Bitcoin is gathering more of the market share. Obviously doesn't mean that some of the altcoins can't run, right? So this is Bitcoin on the Ishimoku cloud. This is the daily. Let's start on the weekly. So we've had these bullish divergences, RSI going higher, yet we've seen the prices going lower, right? We've been talking about this. Hex has the same as this, and now this is pretty much played out because you had the breakout over here. So this is confirmed bullish divergence. It has played out. We're above the green conversion line. This is good. So this will be acting as support at 20,434. So there's the first support bar. We've got the Wyckoff check down there at 18K. We also have the reload zone. Actually, just remove the 50. You guys know how I like the reload zone, right? This is the area where value is at. Never chase markets, because that is the nosebleed section. And you see, if you've chased up here, you're now underwater and your stop loss has pretty much been hit. I think that's that for now. I think we need to discuss more. Just remove everything again. We are below the conversion line on the daily, so we've broken through. This is now going to be resistance. Good support down at 18,600, and it's moving up. It's broadening now. The thinner this cloud is, the stronger the trend. We had these bearish divergences that has been troubling the chart all the way from back here. See price going higher, yet the indicator is going lower. This is now finally played out on the daily. Down here, this is a confirmed bearish divergence. We even had a slight retest. So yeah, it needs to come down. I can't judge how deep it has to go down the RSI, but it's like in the middle of the relative strength. So down here obviously is where value is at. Definitely a buy signal when we get down there. Let's put up the stochastic RSI to see if we don't. Do we have bullish divergences down here? So this is going higher. Yeah, we actually do have bullish divergence on the daily for the stochastic. That's interesting. Okay, let's go down to the shorter time frames and see what's going on here. We had bullish divergence down here, going up now, so we have a reversal. We have resistance above us at like 22K, so maybe it does look like we want to have a little bit rally to the upside. This will give the shorts chance to go short. This has actually gotten you out of the trade back here. Was that the first time we've had a bearish cross since we've broken out? It seems like it. So the market is turning bearish. You have the lagging line below the price, and you can see it's marked red over here. That's bearish. We have the cloud above us on the 4 hour, that's bearish. So you might, when you get a retest up here and a breakdown, it would pretty much be a confirmed short over there. Now, we're not traders, right? We're just judging the market with. This is Ethereum. Let's go ahead and look at the weekly again. There was no bullish divergences here. We're above the conversion line, lots of resistance above us at 2,500. It's a long way up. All of these look healthy, although the weekly is now turned bearish. The last time we turned bearish was back here. On the stochastic. Yeah, so it does look like on the larger time frames that we do seem like we have to have a little bit of a pullback. We've been having an amazing run from the start of the new year, right? There's a CPI print the 14th, so it's good that the market is dumping into that event. Many people are expecting positive numbers. The US 2-year yield has also been rallying. Now that this topped out at 4.8%, and I told you guys that if this does not rally and make go all the way up to 5%, then I don't see the Federal Reserve being able to do another rate hike. And I'm hearing people actually getting on that narrative that they might think that the Fed might be done hiking already in the next Fed hike in March, I think. So it's like a few weeks away. So we'll see how that plays out. It does look quite strong as we are now above the cloud again. We're close to turning bullish. Conversion line is above the price. So that would coincide with the dollar index rallying and your risk assets being a little bit under pressure. Either way, we know where value is at. This isn't, you shouldn't be chasing Bitcoin up here. You should wait for it to come down, either to the reload zone or retesting these breakout points down here. Close some tabs. I closed the Hedron tab that I wanted to take a look at. Okay, let's go on to the altcoins. Let's see what you guys are saying. Nazim, what's up first? Core Collins, UFO to go, greetings. Root Sarakwa, what's up? Raymond Ray, you really have nailed the Ichimoku Cloud indicator to support your TIA analysis. Yeah, dude, I love it now. And I keep wanting to learn more about it. What's a good price to buy ETH? Also, can you look at GRT? Yeah, let's do that ETH analysis. So on the daily here, the RSI, as we said, is trending down. We're above. The Ishimoku support is sitting at like 1,300. I would suspect us getting support there at the least. But if we just go with the reload zones, value is at, and personally, I would get some ETH here if I wanted some. So the area between 1,324 and 1,128 if you're lucky. Laddering in my positions as it goes lower down here. On the overall scheme of things, we are still within the reload zone, right? We're pretty much slap bang inside of where value is at on the long term. So the little old lady can't fault you if you were to take a long-term position here that you might hold all the way to the end of 2025, where we expect the next 4-year cycle to top out at. Yeah, remember this is the third cycle, like your friend Swami would like to say. So the third cycles tend to underperform. So yeah, just keep that in mind, but it doesn't mean you're not able to get a nice 5x on this coin, right? ETH is an amazing project, I should say. So yeah, obviously you need to take your own situation in mind. I can't make your decisions for you. You're responsible for your own decisions, right? Okay, let's jump into the HIX analysis. We should start on the weekly. Let's pull up all our indicators. Okay, let's start on the weekly. The Ishimoku cloud, the conversion line is at 4.5, so we're slightly above it currently. That would act as support. Remember, it's the last 30 candles, the highest high and the lowest low, which would be 7.3 cents, and the bottom 1.7 cents. The sum of that is 9 cents, and you slap a bang that, or you divide it by half, and that gives you this 45. You can see it at the top right there in blue. 4.5 cents, that is where support is. So that's the first line of support. We have these bullish divergences that's broken out. I hope you guys watched me on ICOSA Live. I've covered pretty much all of that up there. Stochastic, very oversold here. As I said on his analysis, that the last time we were this high was back in the back at the top at 51 cents. So definitely these things need to cool down a bit. I would like the RSI maybe to come down and retest, hold these breakout levels on the RSI back here. So this is confirmed bullish divergence that has now broken out. Yeah, let's shift down to the daily. Let's remove all of the drawings. The RSI didn't have bullish divergences, yet the RSI, or the stochastic RSI, did have bullish divergence. Now bullish divergence, obviously, the price, the indicator is going lower, yet the price action, we can use the line chart, was going higher, right? So that is a confirmed, and it's now broken down, so it's a confirmed bullish divergence on the stochastic, and the same story on the MFI. The MFI is the indicator which combines the volume and the RSI. Yeah, confirmed bullish divergence there, that has broken down. I mean, we can probably pull up the MACD as well. Let's see what happened up there. So yeah, no bearish divergences on the MACD. So a little bit of bearishness there. I set it on ICOSA live stream, and try to cool the jets a little bit. I mean, everybody was super bullish on Twitter. Let's just quickly go back to what Lyman Ortega wanted. So he wanted us to quickly look at GRT. I think GRT was one of the coins that ran really hard. I don't know if it's an AI coin. I quickly had a look at this. Let's go down to the weekly. You can just see the massive explosion here on the RSI. Was there bullish divergences down here? The log chart. The line chart, probably. So price was going lower here. So no bullish divergences. Let's go down to the daily. I mean, this is the nosebleed section. It's dangerous up here. You can see how thin this cloud was. It's just not valuable up here. It's very expensive. Let's just remove the log chart again. This was the low. For the little old lady, we're interested down here. A small percentage like 0.1 in here, another percentage at 9 cents. So 12 cents, the little old lady would put a little bit in, and then at 9 cents, a little bit more, and the lower it goes. This is pretty much the first impulsive wave of the bottoming. So this is the first V of the W that is forming on the altcoins. Now you want this higher low to be established and then to create more market structure all the way down here before you get your massive explosions into 2024. So I mean, if you're holding these down here, selling off on a double and getting back in when it retraces, I see no fault with that. But then you need to learn risk management. You need to know that you're not allowed to put more than 5% on any which coin, and very small percentages. I like never exceed even the 1%, except in coins like BTC or Ethereum or Hex that you're keeping off chain and holding for a long time until the market cycle ends. So that was GRT. Do put in other coins if you want me to take a look at it. Hey Hans, if you would be so kind as explain a bit on the EMIs. I saw someone talking about the 18 and the 30 crossing bearish on the monthly for the first time in Bitcoin's history. They were saying that we have a prolonged bear market. Would you like to hear your thoughts? So that's generally a trading strategy. You have golden crosses, you have death crosses, but generally, so it's normally like the 50 and the 200. Let's just pull up BTC for you. We hide the Ishimoku because that's technically, so on the longer time frames you'll use the normal moving averages. So we have to, so we can do the 200 and the 50. So when the and you're getting this, this is a death cross, so the 200 and the 50, and this is on the weekly. So the moving averages is the average of the last 50 candles. Actually, you should look at it on the line chart. So the last 50 closes, the average of that, of the last 50, and then the average of the last 200. So this is this bearish cross that they're talking about. You see the 50, which is the green one, is now going to cross below the 200. So this is the death cross on the weekly. Generally, the market likes to rally into these crosses and then do continuation to the downside. We've never had this cross before, right? And we can see that it acted as support throughout pretty much all of the previous bear markets. This time we actually broke down below it, but I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it. I don't really look at it. It's more of a trading strategy. And this death cross, I mean, check how late it is. Are you traders would take position when these things cross, and you're like down still 67%. So the signal is a little bit late. There's no reason to be shorting assets that are down 70% from their all-time highs, right? So I mean, is this bearish? It does look bad, I mean, but I would rather put my money on the 4-year cycles that have played out time and time again, right? So yeah, those are your indicators or your EMAs. So prolonged bear market, people are now actually calling that this was the bottom. What's up, Motley? What's up, Crypto Sloth? I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, those are your EMAs, or your. You then get an exponential moving average, and just the normal moving average is fine to look at. Did you ever make a BTC and ETH prediction for the next stop? Yeah, I did. I did an analysis on the time frames, and I think now it's impossible to call the top. I'm not Richard R, right? But you're looking at this 100 to 250k area for the next stop, and I'm just using the previous extensions. You can see that we came all the way up to the 3.69, 619. And then I'm just going off diminishing returns, 618. So this was at 63k. It almost got to the first top. And if we go on the strategy of diminishing returns over time, it would be not too crazy to say that we can come to the 2.618 at 155k. But then again, the 1.618 at 100k doesn't look too bad either. If you go all the way back to the 2015 bull market, you do extension up down there. I mean, we came all the way to the 16.88 at 18k. So over time, we've been getting diminishing returns, which is absolutely normal, right? Let's go back to the X chart. I think we've covered pretty much everything here. Yeah, let's just see where we have support for Hex. Firstly, at 3.3 cents, that is the top of the Ishimoku cloud. We have the conversion line at 3.7 and the base at 3.6 cents. So lots of support there. Not only that, if we use our Fibonacci tool, this will just show us where value is at, right? I like using this 1.618. And this would be a healthy correction, right? We've moved pretty quickly. We can see that the reload zone is inside of the cloud, so you might just get a wick up here. Yeah, so and on the weekly chart, this would start setting up these higher lows for your weekly, right? And you get this rounded bottom. So this is the first V of your W. You come down, then you retest the breakout point, you create your higher low, and off we go. That is a perfect market structure. That is what we look for a nice base, right? And from there, you can measure out where this asset might be going in the future. I'm looking for the projection. Here we go. So the longer the base is, the longer the extension is to the upside. So it moves. Anyway, that's a rough estimation just to give you guys an idea of what we might be looking at. The longer you consolidate at the lows, at the bottom, the longer the upside move will be. Higher, I should say. I mean, nothing really to say on the weekly. We've looked at the 4 hourly. Now, this is the opposite of a W, right? This is an M now playing out on the chart. You can see lower highs, right? And this is the opposite of what we had back here, which is higher highs. This is the market smiling at you, and it wants to take your money. We can do a simple measured move and move it up to the breakout point. The breakout point will be at 4.2 cents if we break below that, right? break below it, maybe get a retest, and down we go. And you can see it's pretty much in these areas that we've been looking at. Not only that, this is the breakout point of the larger W that we had back here. Or just simply saying higher lows, right? So there's a lot of support sitting here at the 2.8 area. We might just even weak in that area. This will give all of these momentum indicators a nice time to come down and reset. Maybe we create another bullish divergences down here, and then off we go. So that's a lot of information for you guys. Let's take a look at Hedron, and we can look at the ratios of Hedron versus Hex and ICOSA versus Hex. Now, none of my indicators are on here for some reason. Let's quickly look at the RSI, the stochastic, and the MFI before we move to the Ishimoku cloud. I mean, all of the derivatives look exactly the same as X. We have our double top up here as well, measured move. So that's a little bit too much, maybe. Let's just put on the... So pretty much back to support down here. There was bearish divergence. It looks exactly the same as X. Bearish divergence on the stochastic, on the daily, on the MFI. The RSI didn't have any bearish divergence. The market is smiling at you, creating lower highs. But this would only be confirmed if we close a daily candle between 2133. And once again, this would be a healthy pullback, right? Create higher lows. That's all I want, right? Just higher lows on the higher time frames. Right into where value is at. This is called the reload zone. This is where value is at. This is the nosebleed section that we're currently in. But overall, I mean, we're still well within value on the longer time frames. We're just talking about maybe a dollar cost average. Remember, everybody is trading in this market. Eventually you want to take profits and maybe shift around your dollar cost average strategy to not overextended areas, but where value is at. You got a lot of love. You got to love a little Hans on Saturday morning. What's up, Valerie? I hope you're doing well. Thanks, Hans. Appreciate you. It's my pleasure, dude. First time I catch you live. Thanks for all the valuable content. My pleasure, dude. Valerie, your 100 ETH offer were kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what that's about, but that's a lot of money. Okay, so we can look at the Ishimoku cloud and see what it's telling us on Hedron. This actually looks pretty interesting. So these are the settings that I use. We just increase the time for crypto. Because crypto moves so fast, it takes a little bit out some of these fake outs. Conversion line above the price, which is bullish, we actually got rejected right at the top of the cloud. Generally, this means if you get rejected at the top of the cloud, it wants to come visit the bottom of the cloud. We can once again see that these are the areas that we're interested in on the... So we're getting a lot of confluence on these downward areas, right? So right inside of the reload zone, maybe 1.4, right into the, there's lots of traffic here, right? Lots of support and resistance lines that is going to act as support again. A little bit of support on the conversion and the baseline, but yeah. I mean, the whole market is pulling back. All of these coins that performed really well. If we just maybe go look at some of them, let's take a look at Aptos. It's not a, what do you call it? I'm not endorsing this, right? We're just using it as an example. We can see how Aptos is starting to pull back. and this is the nosebleed section, right? This is where, not where value is at. This is a strong pullback. If you just go to the weekly, it might have a little bit of a bounce here, but Optimism had a recent airdrop. GMT we looked at. Let's look at FTM. FTM was one of those that ran pretty hard. Yeah, this is also coming down. I mean, HEX just kind of lags behind in the market, or that's not anything negative. It just moves after most of the other coins, which is quite interesting. Pretty cool, as it's kind of decorrelated to the rest of the market. It does its thing after everything else. So we're pretty much like here for HEX. Now this has broken below this M. I don't want to spend too much time here. Yeah, so a little bit more room to go for FTM. And we can see across the board these things starting to pull back, right? We look at Mana for the last one quickly to see what it's doing. It looks a little bit different, but the market is smiling at you. It's broken down here. Okay, so Hedron, we know where our levels are at. Let's take a look at ICOSA quickly. Double top as well. It's already broken down. This was also a bit concerning. HEX stopped up here, right? Or actually, it topped up here. Maybe we should add HEX onto this chart. Where the derivatives didn't follow HEX, you can see it actually topped up here. So it topped up afterwards. So the derivatives didn't make a new high with HEX here. So it just tells you that some of the money, smart money, wasn't that interested in the ecosystem anymore, and they were all taking profits. Now this has almost already played out. Let's just see where value for ICOSA is. This is not fundamentally, this is just technically where the value is at. I know Crypto Sloth and Access Alive can tell you more of the fundamental value of these things, which is still very valid. We have now beautifully bounced off the 61.8. The little old lady won't fault you at all if you wanted to get some here at 55 cents. She will put a little bit more in at 24 cents. We can see the RSI, everything is resetting. And when we get back here again, that would be a perfect time to dollar cost average more into this coin. I recently unstaked my ICOSA a little bit early and then spread it out so I can get the 199. I staked all of my ICOSA on different wallets. Many of them went through on 200, and then literally I went to stake one of my accounts on 200s, and I got a 180-day stake. I wasn't looking at the inputs that it was giving me. So literally while I was staking my ICOSA, the supply increased and I got a 180-day stake. Oh, anyway, most of the others is 90-day stakes. I'll just compound my ICOSA. PP, I don't have anything of this, but I am interested to throw in a little bit when we get down to the 3,000 area. Maybe 1% of my overall portfolio, even maybe a little bit less. 1% is a lot. And I'll maybe keep 1.5 at 3K and then 0.5, excuse me, at 2361. Just for the meme. Let's compare HEX and ICOSA. Since we are still looking at alts, you could look at Illuvium. Yeah, I actually wanted to look at Illuvium, and this is one of dollar cost average larger. Yeah, I mean, everything looks pretty much the same, right? We've all done this blow off tops, and now we're coming back into value. Right, value for this coin is at 64 and 52. It's done quite impressive 98% pullback from the top. We shouldn't laugh. Hex also did a major pullback, but you can see this doesn't mean this is not coming back. It is. Like now I know you guys like looking at the log chart, but the linear chart is very familiar to me by now. These large pullbacks are just opportunities, because these coins, GAN theory states that the market can come back to the 50% at any time. That's like at $1,000. This is its kind of like its first cycle, because it came out on the tail end of the bull market. But you can see this beautiful little W that it formed down here. This is the daily chart. We want to see these large W's, but on the weekly charts, right? So we're forming it now, these higher lows, but this is only the first part of these W's. So this is the accumulation phase, right? We're literally at the depths of the accumulation phase for everything pretty much. And I want to see these coins create good bases, right? The more higher lows you have down here and the longer you're moving sideways, that is the bulls getting their positions in and not pushing the price against themselves, right? You need this long accumulation for massive expansive waves in the bull market. You don't want these things to be taking off now, because you're leaving a lot of insufficiencies in these massive candles. The market does not like that. It wants to fill these areas like that. Or it's going to come down to retest these levels. I don't know if you guys want me to take a look at Hex versus ETH, etc. I mean, very oversold up here. Hex versus ETH needs to come down. Once again, it's exactly the same. You need these things to come down and fill up these massive moves. It's just the name of the game. Don't hate it, don't hate it. Just live with it, right? Hex and Bitcoin. Hex wasn't like extremely oversold versus Bitcoin, but this could mean Bitcoin dumping harder than. This is actually quite confusing. He had these massive bullish divergences down here. This doesn't even look weak up here for Hex versus BTC. That could just mean BTC underperforming. So yeah, let's come down to these Ishimoku support levels. It hasn't even crossed the bullish yet. Okay, so that's Hex versus BTC. Let's look at Hex versus Hedron. I think I have it up here somewhere. Hex dominance, I don't think it's really valid, or it's obviously valid. I don't think we need to look at it. Everybody is looking at this massive breakout that has now occurred. Let's check out the log chart. Let's get it as accurate as possible. So you had this move that's probably now already played out. Yeah, we're above that, and we're above the higher trend line as well. I mean, let's get a retest, right? Maybe some market structure this side, and off we go. But that is technically a breakout. Can't fault that at all. But I don't trade patterns, and I really don't even look at them. So that was the Hex dominance. Let's see what the value for Hedron versus Hex is. Okay, so we've dipped well into the... So this is Hex versus Hedron. So we are well within the... Let me just think this through. Yeah, this is where value is at for Hedron, right? Versus Hex. It can obviously go a lot lower. These are just your levels to start getting interested. And all the way down here to the Wyckoff check. The Wyckoff check is the breakout point of your market structure down here. It's not to say it has to go down all the way down here, but if you're getting to swap your Hex for Hedron down here, it would be amazing, right? It does look like it wants to fill this wick, because wicks like to get eaten. Yeah, still lower highs. This is where the OA has Hex selling into Hedron. It has a massive liquidity position here. It minted its Hedron for that 10x bonus and put a limit order in these areas. Now, Access Alive can probably tell you a little bit better where these areas are exactly. Anyway, the RSI is pretty oversold, but not... the weekly RSI has made new lows. But is this bullish divergence? No, because I like to measure bullish divergence of the line chart, so nothing has really changed there. And it does actually look like it does have a little bit more room to the downside. I'm just going to get my biases out the way. But it does look like it wants to revisit these lower areas. You also have a little bit of a Wyckoff check here, which does really look like it's in play. But this is where the market loses interest in these coins. You'll see people on Twitter not talking about it anymore, but that is when the little old lady starts getting interested, right? Not when everybody is screaming and raving about an asset, but when everybody is silent about it and has kind of forgotten about it. The Ishimoku cloud, everything's bearish here. We're below the price. We're above the cloud, excuse me. We're below the moving averages. It has now crossed bearish. This is a confirmed actually getting you in a short position. Now, we're not traders, but yeah, not very bullish. ICOSA versus Hedron. This has now made new lows since the last time I've looked at it. The RSI is incredibly oversold. It hasn't been this oversold here. If there was any time you would have been, because you're getting 12 ICOSA per hex now. RSI is oversold. The thing is, there's no... Can't pull off fib levels because this is a new price that has been printed down here, but this will set a base for what to expect in the future. Market was smiling at you. I was talking about this on Access's stream. Yeah, it's now played out, and I did a measured move. It was very low. It was quite embarrassing, but I shouldn't second guess my analysis, right? It's almost hit the target. So 11 cents area looking, or 11 ICOSA per hex. 11 hex per ICOSA seems to be in play here. These are very, very low. Let's see if we can start making bullish divergences. So this RSI going higher, but the price may be going a little bit lower. This will be your signal to go long on swapping some Hex for ICOSA for the long term. If you have a lot of Hex liquid, maybe. It's not a suggestion for you to do these things. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on the charts, right? I mean, I think we've gone through pretty much everything. Motley asking Ortega if he's gotten into those coins. Lyman Ortega is our resident hex pair. So But at the end of the day, you guys need to learn to do risk management if you're going to be playing with the other altcoins. And I don't endorse any of them. I don't mind looking at them and learning from them. I think we've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to take a look at. I've got a clearer view of what I think might be going on in the market. Healthy corrections across the board. We went up very quickly, and we could just see how all of these trickled down. We had BTC run up, it trickled down into the mid caps, and then obviously Hex took off. So yeah, we are still very much in the accumulation zone. This could go on for months more, all of 2023. Good time to start accumulating our coins dollar cost averaging at these levels. Let's see what happens when Pulse Chain V2 comes out, or V3 comes out, and maybe Pulse Chain launch a few months after that, but I'm not getting impatient. This is the area where we should be accumulating for the next year. If there's anything else you guys want me to take a look at, go ahead and put that in the suggestions now. Thank you everybody for coming. Do like the video if you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Maybe I can go over some of these coins. I mean, so all of them are taking quite punishment right now. Let's look at SHIB while we wait. Shiba Inu. I mean, everything looks pretty much the same, eh? With different percentage moves. I mean, this is beautiful on the weekly. This is what I want to see. See, this low has been defended. It looks a lot like ETH. See the W. It hasn't played out yet. If this comes and makes another higher low and another higher low, I mean, that's wound up to explode. And this is what I want to see for Hex. I want us to have these higher lows on the weekly. That is a perfect accumulation to pop off into the bull market. Now, what this doesn't have versus Hex is bullish divergences at the bottom here, because the price is going higher, yet the indicators are also going higher, or the bottoms were defended, whereas Hex actually made a new low, but your indicators still went higher. So that shows underlying strength in the asset. Okay, with that being said, maybe we should take a look at one more. I want to take a look at those, what do you call it? Those AI coins that performed really, really well. I mean, so this is the BTC pairs, this is the altcoins. Generally, I think the more important charts to look at, and it's same with X. X versus BTC is probably the most important chart, because people use the altcoins as a leverage position on Hex. So if we get rejected here, do we come test to the bottom of this? I think we break out here and start creating structure this side of the chart. Okay. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, so this one also did pretty well. Let's look at the Binance chart. It probably has a little bit more data. Massive blow off top on the weekly. This is not a nice candle. These were new lows, so this is going to come back all the way down to the 88.6 level at least at 11 cents. I mean, no one was interested in this coin for a long time, right? Till this AI narrative came along. 5% from the down. I mean, this went all the way to the 50%. just before the 50%. So nosebleed section, very dangerous. I promise you, all of the crypto banter guys, Ran Neuner, all of his viewers chased these things up here, so they deserve to get wrecked. If you chase the market, you will get wrecked. Value is down here. This is very insufficient. It wants to come back all the way down, and that's how the market punishes it. Yeah, we looked at AGX, I think. I mean, all of these, it's just as ugly. Massive blow off top. What this has is a little bit of good market structure. It made a higher low in its second V, which is good, but I mean, this wants to come back to the 88.6 level as well, which is the 10.5 cents. Massively oversold on the weekly. It hasn't been this oversold ever. No one was interested in this before the AI narrative. It's down 95%. Yeah, nosebleed section, very dangerous up here. People lose everything up here. This is where value is at. No one's interested down here, but they want to chase these candles. With that being said, this has been a little bit less than an hour. Thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tomorrow is the weekly close, so it'll be interesting to see. Let's hold these levels so this candle doesn't close down here at 44 cents. That would look pretty ugly. Let's keep it up here in these 4.7, 4.5 cent areas. We do have the conversion line for Hex on the weekly, which will act as a support. It's exactly at 4.5 cents. So that will be large buys coming in now into the market, which is quite interesting. So this will give us a nice weekly close at least. So that is positive. Thank you for watching.